After the phylum Chrysophytes, next phylum which comes under protist, that is the dinoflagellates. Here dinoflagellates, from it only this organism has been categorized. Di means two, flagellate means flagella. It bears two flagella. Its habitat, that means where it is found in marine habitat. After that, it has a unique feature. What is that? It can do photosynthesis. Apart from that, it has certain color pigment: yellow, green, blue, brown or red in color. That's why it, as I have told you, its name dinoflagellates is being given due to the presence of two flagella. The two flagella which are found in them, one is longitudinal while the other one is transverse. Okay? One is longitudinal and other one is transverse. Example is Goniolix. Take it as important. Why? Because it causes red tides. Whenever tides come in ocean, it makes it red. But what about the other aquatic organism where this Goniolix is found in that ocean? It releases harmful toxins which are causing red tides, and that's why harmful for the other marine animals. We can see here a diagram of Goniolix. It is having a bit armor kind of structure. Armor means that जैसे कवच पहनते थे पहले के सैनिक, वैसा कुछ स्ट्रक्चर इसका दिखता है. I have shared its link where it is having you can see real Goniolix in previous videos. The next phylum under Protists is Euglenoids. You must have read about Euglena in your previous classes. So that is the Euglenoids. Here the structure of Euglena is there. You can see how nice it is there. Again, habitat in fresh water it can be found. It doesn't have any cell wall, but it is having outermost layer which is made up of pellicle, which makes it flexible, easily movable. Two unequal flagella. It has two flagella which are not of equal size. Flagella helps in its movement. Photosynthetic. They are photosynthetic till the sunlight is available or light is available to them, but they soon tend into heterotrophic mode of nutrition as there is absence of light. So they bear a special mode of nutrition which is called as a mixotroph. Example, Euglena. Next is slime molds. You can say these are the uh, ancestors of fungi because they bear certain feature of fungi, but these are unicellular. We can just see here one diagram is there. The real video of a slime mold also I have shared previously. Slime molds, these are saprophytes, that means they feed on dead and decaying object. Body is an aggregation called plasmodium, that means these are unicellular as I have shared you in video, but they just aggregate, join each other to make a aggregation or you can say colony which is called as a plasmodium. Multinucleate without cell wall because it's having so many members, so that's why it is multinucleate but doesn't have any cell wall. Its shape is irregular and they can even spread for several feet. Plasmodium produces fruiting body. From here we can see spores. It produces structures inside which spore formation occurs, which is highly resistant. Resistant means it can withstand in any of the extreme conditions, and there is whenever it bursts, when it फटता है fruiting body, at that time spores get released and they get spread by the wind. Next phylum in it is protozoans. Proto means primitive, zoon means animals. Now we are studying about the animals here, but these are primitive. Fresh, again they can be found in fresh water, marine water. These are unicellular, heterotrophic, and as I have told you, primitive relative of animals. Protozoans also have their subcategories. That means if they are having amoeba-like structure, that means irregular shape, these are called as a amoeboid. Protozoans, they can be free living or they can be parasitic. The main structure which is found in them is pseudopodia, which is also known as false feet or false mouth. You already know about pseudopodia. Example, amoeba. Next, it can be flagellated protozoans, that means which are bearing flagella in their body. Free living or parasitic, they are having flagella. Example is given trypanosoma, which you have studied in your class 9th. Its diagram was also there in that, which causes sleeping sickness. Ciliated protozoans, from name itself it is clear, they are going to have cilia in their body. Example, paramecium, which is having a sleeper like shape. That's why it is called sleeper animalcule. Here the diagram of paramecium is there. You can see cilia in its whole surface. Then the next one is sporozoans. That means sporozoans are those protozoans which bear spore-like stage, resting stage in their life cycle. These are called as a sporozoans. Example is Plasmodium vivax, which causes malaria. After that, next kingdom which we have to study is fungi. As I guess everyone is having idea about fungi, from baking industry, that means bread making, to that batter making of dosa, to spoiling of your foodstuffs, then to mushroom. We all are familiar with this member of fungi. Even one spice comes that is called as a parmelia, or you can say it is also called as chabila in Hindi, which we can easily found in any of the grocery shop. That is also member of lichen, which is the association of fungus and algae. Its feature are achlorophyllous, that means they are non-photosynthetic. Heterotrophic, that means they are depending on other organisms for their food. Cell wall is made up of chitin, not the cellulose. Again, in heterotroph, which mode of nutrition? Either saprophyte, that means depending upon the dead and decaying object, or parasitic, that means feeding on the other organisms, taking nutrients from them as a parasite. Symbiotic, they are having mutual relationship, means they are living in a mutual relationship with other organisms like lichen. Members of fungi can be useful like yeast, we can see mushroom, we can see. Even they can be harmful, like they causes various disease, or they spoil our foodstuffs. Like rhizopus is found over the bread के ऊपर जो आप देखोगे फंगस लग जाता है. These are mucor and rhizopus. At which place fungus generally try to grow? Warm and humid. They need a bit warm temperature and humid places. They can only unicellular fungi is yeast, only unicellular, and rest of the multicellular they have a filament which is called mycelium. Here one diagram of mucor which is grown over bread के ऊपर देखोगे white color की आ जाती है फफूंद, that is mucor. It has one stalk that is called as a sporangiophore. Sporangiophore इसको बोलेंगे. नीचे जो थ्रेड लाइक स्ट्रक्चर है दिस इज कॉल्ड माइसीलियम, और इसके ऊपर जो एक बल्ब जैसा स्ट्रक्चर दिख रहा है जिसके अंदर स्पोर्स बनेंगे, दिस स्ट्रक्चर इज कॉल्ड एज स्पोरेंजिया. स्पोर को रखने वाला स्पोरेंजिया, स्पोरेंजिया को बियर करने वाला स्पोरेंजियोफोर. जो थ्रेड लाइक स्ट्रक्चर है दिस आर माइसीलियम, और इसी की अगर इंडिविजुअल थ्रेड की बात करेंगे उसको हम हाइफे बोल देते हैं. One unit of mycelium is called as a hyphae, that I have told you. Mycelium may be cenocytic. Cenocytic मतलब it is having more than one nucleus. एक से ज़्यादा nucleus हो जाएगा. But ये कब होगा? When the we can say mycelium is aseptate. Now the question arises, what is aseptate? So if I am just saying this is mycelium of fungus, it is nucleus. If there is a cell wall at the regular interval, okay, so we call it as a septum. So in this, because of the presence of cell wall, nucleus has got separated. But in aseptate mycelium, nucleus will be present at a regular interval, but this partition is absent. Partition is not there in them, so that's why these are called as aseptate or no septum, and it's a cenocytic condition. That means more than one nucleus is there, but this one is septate because it is having a partition called as a septum. Fungus has mutual relationship also with other organisms. One is lichen, where it is symbiotic association of fungus and algal partner, where fungal partner is called as a mycobiont and algal partner is called as a that phycobiont. Again, fungus are also found in association with the roots of higher plant. बड़े पौधों की जड़ों में भी फंगस ग्रो करता है, बट देयर इट गिव्स न्यूट्रिएंट्स टू द प्लांट, नुकसान नहीं पहुंचाएगा। सपोज फंगस है, वो अपने केमिकल से रॉक में जो न्यूट्रिएंट्स प्रेजेंट है उनको डिजोल्व कर देगा, और डिजोल्व करके वो न्यूट्रिएंट्स किसको अवेलेबल हो जाएंगे, ट्री को, एंड इन टर्न ट्री फंगस को शेल्टर देगा और अपने जो ट्री बॉडी में न्यूट्रिएंट्स सर्कुलेट हो रहे हैं वो देगा। एग्जाम्पल इज पाइनस। हाउ डू द रिप्रोडक्शन अकर्स? तो अगर हम बात करें वेजिटेटिव रिप्रोडक्शन मीन्स कि जो नॉर्मल पेरेंटल बॉडी है वही डिवाइड कर जाएगी या उससे ही नया ऑर्गेनिज्म बन जाएगा, देन दैट इज़ बाय फ्रेगमेंटेशन। यानी सपोज फंगस का ये माइसीलियम है, ये माइसीलियम यहाँ से टूट गया, ये टूट गया, तो इट विल गिव राइज टू न्यू ऑर्गेनिज्म, इट विल अगेन गिव राइज टू अ न्यू ऑर्गेनिज्म, दैट मीन्स इट इज़ गिविंग राइज टू न्यू ऑर्गेनिज्म, दिस इज कॉल्ड फ्रेगमेंटेशन। देन वी हैव रेड कि स्पोरेंजियम के अंदर स्पोर्स हैं, these spores we can say special structures which are giving rise to a particular living organism, तो ये spores के थ्रू भी हो रहा है। these both are vegetative reproduction। then after that sexual reproduction occurs, sexual means wherever gametes are involved, gametes are always haploid, so these are called sexual reproduction। it is having 3 steps, first one is a plasmogamy। what is plasmogamy? suppose if I'm just saying these are the gametes, okay, now suppose if the gametes are getting close to each other, they will get fused, what at that time what will happen, their cytoplasm will get fused, एक साथ fuse हो जाएगा, so this is called as a plasmogamy। plasmogamy means fusion of their cytoplasm। again karyogamy, as the cytoplasm has fused तो इसके अंदर न्यूक्लियस रहा होगा, after fusion of the protoplasm, the fusion of nuclei will occur and this is called as a karyogamy। कहीं भी term karyo आ जाएगा मतलब क्या हो जाएगा, nucleus, gamy means fusion, the fusion of the nucleus। after that meiosis of zygote, because fungal spores are generally haploid, ठीक है, fungal body is haploid, तो I have to say it one gamete, it is haploid, it has fused with other gamete, it is also haploid। अभी फ्यूज करेगा तो कौन सा स्ट्रक्चर बना दिया, 2n, तो इसको फिर से अपना आपको हैप्लॉइड बनाना है, तो इसीलिए ये जो जाइगोट बना था गैमेट के फ्यूजन से, इट विल ट्रांसफॉर्म इट इटसेल्फ इनटू हैप्लॉइड बॉडी थ्रू meiosis। this is only just explained in your book।